Kitty Pryde and Wolverine, issue 3. I'm finally glad to be diving back into this series. Got my comics sort of where I can kind of pick through them, so I grabbed all the remaining issues so that we could dive right in there. The print date on this one was January 1985. And before we dive into the awesomeness that is Wolverine in Japan, let's talk about death. This is Chris Claremont doing the writing, Al Milgrom doing the art, Tom Orzanowski doing the lettering, Glynis Wein doing the colors, and Nasanti, the editor, and Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. So right off the bat on this book, we get an all-star big cast. I've heard people say that they're not huge on Al Milgrom's pencils. It's hit or miss for me, but for this book, it feels not as gritty, but to a degree, a toss back to that volume 1 of Wolverine that was the 4-part with Frank Miller and Chris Claremont. This sort of feels like a continuation to a degree. And it even starts out, says, I'm a creature of the wild. I hate cities, hate civilization with all its idiot rules. Give me the free, open, elemental space of my mountains, where a man holds his fates in his own hands. No lies there, no deception, no compromise. So why do I wonder, do I love this land and this city? It's probably because the most structured society on earth lays tight with centuries of tradition and ritual, covering every conceivable aspect of public and private life. I was born to one world, but I chose to be a part of the other. Great way to kind of sum up Wolverine, the duplicity of Wolverine, where he's this man that wants peace, but he's also a savage animal. And while he's here, you see the silhouette leaping rooftop to rooftop. And it's just an attack. Wolverine's like, I could have sniffed it from a mile away. And they just go right into it, revealing that it's Yukio. She's like, gotcha. That depends on your point of view, lover. Coming up from downwind like you did, I couldn't spot your scent. That was my intent, Logan. I wanted to surprise you. Crazy stunt could have got you killed, Yukio. The risk, dear heart, is what makes the game exciting. I wish that they did more with Yukio, because she's just the type where she wants to live life to the fullest, hence why she's sort of a wild gun in Japan. In the moments where she's teamed up with Storm, those two bounce off each other so well and complement one another. He's talking about how he's sitting here. There's supposed to be a trade-off for Kitty that he's used for his connections, because it was Shinmatsu, I believe is how you pronounce his name, gave Kitty over to Logan. I always forget how to pronounce their names, but Logan is here to save her, and he doesn't understand why she's here. But before he can really start to dive in on it, a fight ensues. He goes, a brilliant ploy. I can't get the stench out of my nostrils. My enhanced sense of smell is utterly neutralized because of a stink bomb. So his opponent knows Wolverine very well, and it just goes to town, and even talks about when they get up close and personal. It seems like every time he slashes, he goes, missed. Should have known better. But how did I miss? I try again, and things get worse. And we just see how nimble this ninja is, and Wolverine flees. Won't be long before I'm paralyzed. No illusions about what will happen if that ninja finds me. I've got to go to ground, find somewhere, give my body a chance to heal. This looks as good a place as any. My gamble is that I'll be recovered before the assassin tracks me down. Pretty long odds. One book on him. Sorry, Kitty. You deserved better. And then we get a moment where Yukio finds Kitty's dad. And there's a fight that ensues with Shinmatsu's bodyguard, which is a disgraced sumo wrestler. And this guy is something else. And you can kind of see how much of a coward he is. He actually begs for mercy. And the double cross that happens, it's just an absolute great read. And it feels more like you're reading just an actual Japanese story rather than the X-Men. These are always the type of stories that I love, especially when Claremont takes a moment, lets the story breathe visually rather than just adding dialogue, where we just see the ninja hunting Logan, tracking his scent. But no matter how good they are, Wolverine says, surprise, sucker. I got better. Now my turn. And it just becomes a full-on brawl all across Japan. And again, love these silhouette battles like this. This is artwork that you just do not see anymore. And even when Logan wants to get in close and attack this person, right out of their gi comes all sorts of weapons, and it just shows that Wolverine is being put to the limits of his training. And another thing that I miss, again, 1984, pre-CGI era, look at the way that we kind of use what is the old saying, less is better. So we get moments where we actually get like full panels like this, which is great. But here where it's just white with the silhouettes, just a light blue background with our opponents fighting one another. And then we get back in to seeing the background. It just makes it pop. It makes you focus on the anatomy that the pencilers and the art team has to do to really catch your eye visually. And it's just something that I don't see in modern comics anymore. And by the end of the comic, we find out who the ninja is, which causes Wolverine to get impelled through the heart. This is one adrenaline-filled issue. Love everything about it. And the next issue is absolutely amazing as well. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is like to get your action figures and comics, and grab this series. Highly recommend it. And if you've enjoyed this review, I really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little X bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.